Hey, my beautiful people. Y'all prepared to be sick of me, honey. Because, baby, when I tell you this brown butter pound cake is everything, why ain't y'all tell me? I'm been sitting over here sleeping on brown butter all this time. But when I tell you this is truly something special, hmm y'all gonna want to try this real quick and real soon. So let's go ahead and get into this recipe. So I'm gonna show you how to whip it like butter.
Okay, y'all, so we're going to start by browning 2 sticks of salted butter that we have at room temperature. Remember, I always include recipe details in the comments and in the description. Okay, so we're going to move this around a little bit. You can actually just take the pan handle and swivel it around. You don't have to stir it, but keep going. It's going to get foamy and then it's going to eventually turn brown. It may take 5 minutes, it may take a little bit more. We have this at about medium heat, not too high, not too low. So once it turns brown, it's immediately after it turns brown, you smell that nutty flavor. Go ahead and put this in a heat safe bowl and let it go ahead and cool down. All right, so I did a quick cool. Next time I'll just let it cool. But what I did a quick cool. Here we are after that, stirring it together. It's a little ugly, baby, but it smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna give this a quick stir and then I'm gonna go ahead and add it into my bowl. Now, we also have another stick of butter that we have at room temperature. All right, so a total of 3 sticks of butter, two that we browned, and one that we left regular. All right, have all that in the bowl. Here we go with our third stick of butter, and we're going to give this a mix, and then we're going to slowly add in our sugar, and we're going to let it blend together until it's nice, light, and fluffy, about 5 minutes. So keep in mind that this texture is a little bit different than if it was just 3 sticks of just plain room temperature butter that we didn't brown. It's going to be a little bit different, okay? But the process is still about the same. It'll start sticking to the sides of the bowl if you're using a stand mixer, and then it'll start to fluff up, okay, and be like this, about this texture, all right? So we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl here, and we have our oven preheated at 325 degrees, all right? Give that a nice little mix with the sides of the bowl. We're using vanilla bean paste, okay? You can use vanilla extract, but baby, spend the money and take the time to get the vanilla bean paste. I'm telling you, it's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth every little drop of that deliciousness. All right, so we're just gonna combine that. Now my mixer is at a higher speed. I speed my videos up, so it's not taking you all forever to watch them. So I mix it about at 1 or 2. Even when creaming my butter and my sugar, I may kick it up to a 3, but a 1 or 2 mainly. Adding our eggs in one at a time. 5 eggs, room temperature, okay? Only mixing until combined and then stop. You don't want to over mix your eggs. Only until combined. When you stop seeing like the yellow streaks, it's combined. Scrape down the sides of our bowl. We're going in and we're adding our flour. We're using 3 cups of flour. You can use all-purpose flour or you can use cake flour, okay? We're going to slowly incorporate our flour into our bowl and we're going to alternate, okay, with heavy whipping cream. Also at room temperature, a cup of that. Definitely make sure it's at room temperature. Definitely start with your flour and end with your flour. We're ending with the heavy whipping cream here just for me to show you that part. I didn't want the video to get too long going back and forth, okay? So we're going to end with our flour and then we're going to go ahead and stop the mixer and we're going to go in with the last hand mix, incorporating the size, all of that, making sure that the bottom is mixed well together, all right? And then we're going to go ahead and add our batter into our bundt pan, okay? So I'm using a USA pan today. You can find that linked in my Amazon store. It doesn't require any prepping. So normally if you would use another pan, it will require you to prep it in some type of way. Y'all know my favorite method is to spray the pan, but you can also use cake goop or flour and butter. But with this pan, you don't need any preparation at all. So go ahead and lay your batter into your pan. Go ahead and smooth your batter. Of course, y'all know I always lay my batter in twos. So I'm just going to go through this process and then I'm going to come back around and I'm going to add more batter like so, and then complete the process of again of just smoothing the top of my batter, okay? So we're smoothing the batter here. This is very important so your cake doesn't come out lopsided, okay? And like I've told y'all before, I like to lay my batter in 2 parts so I don't have a gaping hole or tunneling in the middle of my batter because my batter is pretty thick for my pound cakes. And so I don't want to just lay all my batter down and I'll smooth the top, but then you have like the clumps of batter like underneath there that you didn't get to, right? Okay, so we're going to give that a nice little tap. Then we're going to place our pound cake in the oven and we're going to bake it for about an hour and 15 minutes or till your toothpick comes out with only moist crumbs. We let it cool for about 10 minutes and baby, look at her. I love the way she came out, and ooh, baby, she smells so good. We're gonna let her cool, and we're gonna go ahead and work on the glaze. You can actually go ahead and work on the glaze while the cake is baking because again, you're gonna have to let your butter come to room temperature. All right, so we're going in here again and browning that 1 stick of butter. Okay, so just a half a cup of salted butter. Swirl that around in the pan. It's getting brown, so we're gonna go ahead and remove it from the heat. Y'all see that? I did a couple of swirls so you could really see how brown it was. You also want to make sure that you use a light colored pan so that you're able to see the color change, okay? So I should have waited until my brown butter became really cool, like room temperature cool, because it's a different texture when you're making your glaze. Still came out great, but next time I'll go ahead and let it cool all the way. We're going in with the vanilla bean paste again, starting to give that a mix, all right? We're going to mix that together and then we're going to slowly add our liquid into the mix. And I'll walk y'all through this because I know a lot of people struggle with glazes, but the main thing is liquid control. So we have 2 cups of powdered sugar. A recipe may say add 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk. I need a little bit more for this one, but you don't add all the milk, you don't add all the liquid, whatever you're adding to your glaze at one time because everybody's preference is different on how thick or thin they want their glaze. And then if you add it all at once, then you have to add more powdered sugar if it's off. If it's too thin, you got to add more milk. Add a little bit at a time. Always do the drip test if you saw that at the end because if that's how it drips when it's coming off of the mixer attachment, that's how it's going to drip when it goes over the cake. And also when you get ready to pour your glaze, go ahead and pour it like I use a measuring cup. That's my favorite way. Go ahead and pour it in your measuring cup and immediately pour it over your cake. You don't want it to sit. As it sits, the texture is going to change. Now you could probably give it a nice stir and freshen it up. In some cases, you may need to add a little bit more liquid, but to just simplify it, after you mix your glaze up, don't let it sit. Go ahead and pour it over the cake. Some people say their glazes are too thin. You got to start out with a good base. A good base is 2 cups of powdered sugar. For some cakes, I just use one. I only want a modest amount of glaze, but a lot of people like a lot of glaze. They may want to pour a little bit over the cake. May want to save a little bit for later. Everybody has a different preference, all right? So I'm coming in with the offset spatula here just so I can guide the glaze where I want it to go over the cake. But like I told y'all from the beginning, there is something about this brown butter that is so special. That's why I had to put it in the, not only in the cake, but in the glaze too. Love how it came out. Really can't wait for y'all to try this recipe. I was really shocked with the flavor. It's definitely something different. Wow, your guess. I was concerned about the butter texture and it was fine. Like I said, next time I'll give myself plenty of time for it to come to room temperature and not have to rush it or anything else in the future. I don't think it affected the final result, but for a consistent texture and result in the future, I think that's definitely the way to go. Hope y'all get a chance to try this recipe and enjoy it as much as I did.
Baby, it's everything I thought it would be. And then some, okay? Woo! Don't walk. Run to the store and get your ingredients. Now it's your turn to whip it like butter. Bye.